Hi, here you go, Ellie and Ollie. It's Mama here. I'm going to read you a Christmas book. It's called The Nutcracker. And this is a very special book that was given to Auntie Jossie, Uncle Kenny, and Papa when they were little. And Ellie, I think you're going to really like this because there's a very beautiful ballerina in this story. And a nutcracker. You know that Mama has lots of nutcrackers at her house. I like nutcrackers. Okay, so here's the ballerina. And there you can see her dance when you move the book. Oh, maybe she's not going to do it. Oh, there. It's hard. Maybe, you know what, when you see this book in person, because I'm going to mail it to you, you'll be able to see her dance. Okay, so here we go. Christmas Eve was finally here at the grand home of the Stahlbaums. Family and friends had gathered for a night of dancing and celebrating. Everyone was happy and excited, especially the two Stahlbaum children, Fritz and Clara. Look, isn't that beautiful, them dancing in their gowns by the beautiful tree? The children became even more excited when they spotted their godfather, Drosselmeyer. He was a brilliant toy maker, and every Christmas he gave them the most wonderful, magical gifts. This year he gave Fritz a troop of marching toy soldiers and presented Clara with a wooden nutcracker doll. Look at, there's the marching toy soldiers. And there, this shows them marching. Can you see that in there? Clara loved the funny-looking nutcracker, but Fritz grabbed the doll, saying, "Silly old thing." He dropped it on the floor, breaking its jaw. Oh, that was very mean. "He's not silly," cried Clara. She picked him up and wrapped a ribbon around his head and cradled him gently. "Don't worry," she whispered. "I'll take care of you." That wasn't a very nice thing. Oh, there, she's rocking him. Can you see that? Keep trying. The party was over, but Clara couldn't sleep. She was worried about her nutcracker, so she crept downstairs to get him. The clock began to chime, and everything in the room began to grow bigger. Soon Clara was no bigger than the toys. From inside the clock, she heard strange scratching sounds. So look at, all the toys grew, or maybe she shrunk. Suddenly, hundreds of mice scampered out of the clock. As they raced across the room, Clara's nutcracker doll, Fritz's soldiers, and all the other toys sprang to life. "Charge!" shouted the nutcracker, and the toys and the mice began to fight. Swords clanked and cannons fired. The nutcracker faced the Mouse King, his sword ready. There, oh, that's cannon booming. Okay, so there's the nutcracker. Where's the Mouse King? I'm not sure where the Mouse King is. Oh, there he is. He's right there, and there's the nutcracker. The toy army was small, and there were so many mice. Clara saw the Mouse King raise his sword at the nutcracker. "No!" she shouted, throwing her slipper at him with all her might. He fell to the floor, and suddenly all was quiet. The fighting ended, and, like magic, the mice disappeared. At that very moment, the nutcracker changed into a handsome young prince. Taking Clara's hand, he said, "You saved my life. Let me show you my kingdom, the land of sweets." Suddenly the house disappeared, and they were flying through the snowy sky. They landed in a forest where snowflake fairies danced all around them. Clara and the prince then flew on to the land of sweets. He told everyone about the battle and how Clara had saved his life. A great celebration began with music and dancers from across the land. First, Russian dancers stomped their boots and clapped their hands and jumped high in the air. Russian dancers are very similar to Ukrainian dancers, and that's what you guys are taking right now, is your Ukrainian dance. Clara and the prince watched with wonder as a beautiful Arabian dancer gracefully swayed to the music, ringing tiny chimes on her fingers. Next, a group of Chinese dancers leapt from a giant teapot, twirling fans and umbrellas. Clara had never been so thrilled. It felt like a dream. And there they're dancing. Then, as fiery music began, Spanish dancers dressed in brown rushed onto the stage. This is the dance of chocolate, explained the prince. Next, a towering woman wearing a huge skirt appeared. Watch this, whispered the prince. She's Mother Ginger from France. 8 little puppets danced out from under her skirt, and those are the Polichinelles. Polichinelles, I don't know if I said that right, he added, laughing. Polichinelles? Oh, the waltz of the flowers came next, and all the flower dancers of the kingdom twirled and whirled around the stage. The flowers then parted as the sugar plum fairy and her knight performed a beautiful pas de deux, or dance for two. As the crowd cheered, Clara sighed. I wish I could stay here forever. Oh, and there's the ballerina twirling. But the dance had ended, and it was time for Clara to return home. As they climbed aboard the prince's magical sleigh, he turned to her and said, I'll never forget your kindness. The sleigh rose into the dawn sky. Clara looked back to see the crowd waving goodbye and the land of sweets fading into a misty light. There, he's waving. Clara awoke in her own home, cradling the Nutcracker doll in her arms. Everything had looked just as it had been before, but Clara knew it wasn't. She knew that her Nutcracker prince was real and that they'd meet again someday in the land of sweets. I'll always take care of you, she whispered to him, and she always did. So Papa should show you the show Fantasia, the parts where they show the dance of the sugar plum fairies, and it's really lovely. So anyways, I love you. I miss you. I can hardly wait till this COVID pandemic is over so we can be together again. Bye.